Good morning, everyone. I was going to talk about anal lesions, but that was all stolen now, so I'll have to think about something else to speak about. My name is Alex Greenwich, and I'm the independent member for Sydney and State Parliament. Like many of my constituents, when there's the way we try to save the world, I think, is when there's something we don't like that happens, we do something about it. So when the former Premier, Barry O'Farrell, passed laws through the New South Wales Parliament to get rid of my predecessor, Clover Moore, I fired off an email to Clover and said, I feel like my vote has been taken away, what can I do? It slowly turned into a conversation. What I can do is actually run for the seat, which I did, and I won. And we sent a really strong message to the government. And in this role, I just continue to be inspired by the communities that I'm able to advocate for and work with as all these communities try to save the world and also try to save their world. It can be a tough job, but some of the best days are when you're working directly with your local community. This is an image of Graffiti Removal Day in Woolloomooloo. This was the Woolloomooloo Community Centre, and Auntie Robin, fed up with the fact that Housing for New South Wales kept on telling her the graffiti in Woolloomooloo was not offensive enough to be removed, decided she's going to get a bucket of paint, get some of the community together, call her local member, and we're going to go down there and cover off all the offensive graffiti. We did that in a couple of hours. It was looking sparkling clean, and this was a really, really wonderful day out there. Probably one of the most rewarding days I've actually had as an MP, where you're actually able to be on the ground and do something. So I guess the message here was, saving the world is obviously a pretty big task. Don't be afraid to start with saving your own world, your local community. That can sometimes be some of the most important places to you. So don't be intimidated by all the challenges that we have ahead of us. There are some local wins that you can achieve tomorrow if you wanted. Another important thing I think to remember in the process of changing the world is there is a lot to be angry about at the moment, and that seems to build with every time federal parliament sits. However, we need to make sure we really channel that anger in the right direction. Obviously, it's important to make sure that there is a strong visual presence, and the rallies that have been happening around the nation have been inspiring. It's also important to, if you want to really combat and if you want to really change what is going on, to take a seat at the table. And an important part of that is to listen to where your opponents are coming from. It's only when you understand their point of view that you can truly win over them. In New South Wales Parliament recently, I hosted a roundtable on LGBTI reform. We had people, we had Christian clergy, we had people from Jewish organisations, we had Muslims, we had every colour of the rainbow represented there, every single political party represented there, the US Ambassador to Australia, the new High Commissioner, Tim Wilson, and one of the key things that came out of this really, really interesting and diverse group of people was our keenness to listen and understand where everybody was coming from and build those relationships to work a way forward. So I guess I would really encourage you, sometimes it can be really hard when you're focused on the campaign that you're doing, when you know what you're doing is right, to actually stop and listen to your opponents and actually work out what they're going on about and how to change their mind. That's one of the key things. I'd love it if you took out of today. And that was a really great day. It was people around the table who did not get along with each other. It went an hour over time, and some really good relationships has formed as a result of that. And it's never too soon to start. I would encourage you all to really work out what you can do. This is a shot from Youth Parliament in New South Wales. These are 8- and 9-year-old guys and girls who were talking about bullying in their schools and what they think can be done to combat it. Some of the ideas were a little crazy, but that's great. They were at least there talking about it, forming policy, and working out how they can change their world. And to them, their world was their playground. Now, a scary image here is that I'm in the Speaker's chair, and if you were in the government, that would be a really scary sight. I just want to encourage you all to realise that obviously saving the world is a big task. You can start by saving your world, and you may not be able to save your world or the world tomorrow, but you can start doing that process today. Good luck. People will leave today with a really good toolkit of actions to save the world.
People just taking matters into their own hands.
We really do have the power
to empower people to, I guess, feel comfortable in their lives.
Connect that passion and talent I have.
Don't just do one thing, do 100